Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a great day today. Welcome to Tuesday's edition of Take 5. We're in the series that we've entitled The Lord My Healer. And this week we are naming 6 biblical facts about healing that I believe we definitely need to know. These are facts that we're pulling straight from the scriptures. These are not traditions. These are not ideas that, somebody has cooked up. These come straight from the scriptures. And so these are 6 facts that I believe, without a doubt, we definitely need to know. These 6 things are going to help us bring balance to our understanding on the subject. They're going to have to help us clear up misconceptions. They're going to correct bad theology, and they're going to provide supernatural peace to keep our hearts and minds about the things that we don't completely understand. And we know there is a lot of that, especially concerning this subject. Yesterday, we talked about sickness and how sometimes God uses it to reveal His power and His works to build faith in you and in others. Today, sometimes God uses sickness to grant opportunities for ministry. So I know you might be wondering, why in the world would, God allow the devil to bring sickness, or whatever the reason the sickness is in a person's life. Sometimes God allows it because it brings opportunity for ministry. In Galatians chapter 4, Paul's writing there to this church, and he said, as you know, it was because of an illness that I first preached the gospel to you. And even though my illness was a trial to you, you did not treat me with contempt or scorn. Instead, you welcomed me as if I were an angel of God, as if I were Jesus Christ Himself. Now, when Paul writes this letter to the Galatians, it's about 58 AD. When he first went through that area, it was about 48 AD, 10 years prior. I think sometimes we read, the books of the Bible, especially Paul's letters to the churches, and we think that when he's writing them, that's what he's actually doing and saying while he is there. And most of the time, he is somewhere completely different when he's writing these letters to the churches. And this one that he writes to Galatia, he writes 10 years after he went through there. That scripture said, it was because of an illness that I first preached the gospel to you. And he makes it plain that they actually had to take care of him. He was pretty sick. I don't know what it was. All we can do is speculate and guess, and people are doing their fair share of trying to figure out, what Paul dealt with. Some say it had to do with his sight. Some say it had to do, he was a little bit crippled and bowed over a little bit, kind of like to the one side, kind of like scoliosis. Others have all kind of other ideas. All that speculation. That's all it can be. We don't have anything in the Bible that tells us what it was. We just know he had some kind of physical infirmity that caused him to stay there. Now, the reason that God used this sickness to provide a ministry opportunity is when Paul was traveling through there, that's all he was supposed to do, was travel through there. When he first went through that region, he did not intend to stop. He had his sights set on going toward the Greek cities of Asia Minor and even possibly to mainland Greece. So his sickness, whatever it was, kept him from passing on through there at this time. And it made it necessary for him to stay there in that region of Galatia. Well, while he was there, he used that time to preach the gospel. Churches were started and established that may not have been so if God had not used his infirmity as an opportunity for ministry. I mean, think about it. He's there going to pass through, but God put the brakes on him by using this infirmity. He's sick. Now the people are having to take care of him. I mean, they've got him sitting up there in the hospital. Probably not, but this is how I would picture it today. They've got him sitting up there in the hospital in his split tail gown, got an IV stuck in his arm. They're giving him fluids. They're taking care of him. They're giving him medicine. They're doing all of this stuff. And at the same time, while they're taking care of him, he's preaching the gospel to them. And a church is established in Galatia because Paul was held up there because of an infirmity. So we need to realize that sometimes God uses sickness as an opportunity for ministry. Have you ever thought about that when you were in the hospital? Have you ever thought maybe you were there to minister to somebody's life? Maybe you're there to tell somebody about Christ. Maybe you're there so that somebody can see your good attitude and see your faith and see your Christ-like character while they are taking care of you. You just never know. God could be using it as an opportunity for ministry. There's a man by the name of Clay Dyer. He was born in 1978 in Hamilton, Alabama. He's a professional bass fisherman today. He was born without any legs, no arm on the left side, and a partial arm on the right side, about down to the elbow is what he has. His physical limitations have not dampened his determination and his positive spirit. He started fishing at the age of 5, started tournament fishing at the age of 13. He refuses to use special equipment. If you were not here Sunday when I showed the pictures of Clay Dyer, I would encourage you, go and Google him, Clay Dyer, D-Y-E-R, and look at him and look at some things there about his life. It's really amazing what this man does with his limitations that he has. He refuses to use special equipment in these bass tournaments. He casts by tucking the rod up under his neck and flicking his neck and whipping the rod around. He reels fish by holding the rod under his neck and winding with that little nub of an arm that he has there. He ties knots with his tongue. He unhooks fish with his teeth. He fishes in the Bassmaster Open Series, and if you follow bass fishing, or if you don't, this won't mean anything to you, but if you follow bass fishing, that's a pretty big deal that he's fishing in the Bassmaster Open Series. He's fished in more than 200 tournaments and has placed first in approximately 20 different state tournaments, and his motto for life is this: if I can, then you can. In addition to his competitive fishing, he speaks in churches and he loves Jesus Christ. And his positive attitude about his handicap opens doors all over the country for him to be able to share his faith. His infirmity has become an opportunity for him to lead people to Jesus Christ. Now, I know this without a doubt that God could heal him in a moment. He could. God could grow limbs out on that man and heal him in a moment. But for whatever reason, he has chosen not to. And he uses this man's situation to build his kingdom, because sometimes God uses sickness as an opportunity for ministry. Hey, I've got to get out of here. It's been good being with you today. I look forward to being with you tomorrow on Wednesday's edition of Take 5. Till then, God bless you. Have a great day. Hey, trust the Lord, my friend. He will never fail you.